this film is inspired by true events. And this is really crazy. So not the things we reenact, it's not like a reenactment or this happened in the movie, but that concept of wanting revenge and why. Something happened to the writers that inspired them, and they wrote this script as a way to heal.
Wow.
It's crazy. You want to hear it?
Man.
Can maybe
yes, absolutely. No, yes, please. I've got all the. You're not cutting me off, buddy. I got all the time in the world today. So like this is all you. You want to keep going? I would love to. If not, we could put a pin on it or do a follow-up call. I'm going to be asking you for a follow-up phone call anyway at some point. But yeah, I would love to hear that story. I wasn't sure how personal that is.
Yeah, so let me tell you this. So so the Gear brothers, they several years ago, about 12 years ago, their sister was brutally attacked. And the way I'm going to take you through the details. As a young girl, they were like, oh my God, Michael, you wouldn't believe she was always such a tough kid. So when they were like 12, she was 8. She was the kind of kid that if you started messing around and fighting with her, she would like grab onto your leg and never stop, right? She was always a tough kid. So cut to, she's around 18 years old, about 12 years ago. I think it could be 18 years ago now, but she's 18 years old. She's at a party in Northern California with her girlfriends. They're at one girlfriend's house. They're all hanging out, and they decide to go to another house. So they all go. She takes her own separate route there, and she's walking, and it's near the freeway. She's walking, and she said she felt someone like jogging up from behind her. And she's like, this is so odd. It's midnight and someone's jogging. This is her talking, and you should know she's very outspoken about this story. She wants this story told. So she's like, this is so odd. She literally said it's as if you looked out the window right now and saw a dragon. All of a sudden, the guy tackles her down a ravine. She rolls down this ravine and she starts fighting with the guy. She's fighting for her life. He's punching her, beating her. He puts a belt around her neck and strangles her. So now she gets not, she nods out. She's out. And he raped her. And then the next thing you know, she comes awake and she hears him sort of like in the distance walking away. She lies there for a second. She climbs up the ravine, like half dressed, clothes ripped off, ripped apart. She runs up to the freeway, and she said she went to the middle of the freeway where cars were coming both ways to make sure someone saw her. She hails a car. They get her, take her to the hospital. She does the rape test, the kit, everything, and to make sure she gets the DNA. She said she went into the bathroom and she looked in the mirror, and it was the first time she had seen herself, and she was pulverized, beaten terribly.
Fuck.
She has to call her mom. Her mom comes and she said to her mom, don't tell dad. Like, that's how much. And of course her dad's gonna know. But wow. So get this. She goes through the whole process. And they never catch the guy. So now years go by. They never catch the guy. Cut to about 5 years ago. And we should have her on to tell the story, because I could be off.
I would love that. Yeah.
She's wonderful. But I'm giving you the story. This is because I've heard it a bunch from her and talked with her about it, but my dates might be off. So get this. 5 years ago, approximately, there's a woman in a taxi cab in Northern California. The guy pulls off to this desolate, weird little turnaround and rapes the lady, and she escapes. She runs. I don't know if if he got her, if she escaped first. She takes the police back to there. They scour the area. They find a used condom off to the side. They do the test on it. It matches Jody Gears, the Gear brothers' little sister from 12 years earlier. They get the guy, right? Now, they're going through trial. They're seeing their dad had to live with this for years. Their family, there's a lot of brothers and sisters. They're a beautiful family. So now they have to sit through trials. Their dad has to, their sister has to go through it of seeing this guy. And there was one juror. I think it would be life in prison, who didn't give him life, who didn't agree with it, because the belt was the attempted murder thing. And so anyway, they go through all this. And the one brother, Darren, says to his brother, Jeff, imagine if there was a service where someone could get this guy and you could have a minute alone with him. And they started talking about that concept and wrote the Retaliators as a way to creatively heal through this process.
Fuck, man.
So the film, The Retaliators, as I told you, is built on this concept of revenge. And there they go to church. Darren has 4 kids, and he thought about how bad what he would do to this guy for what he did to their family. And that's where The Retaliators is born from. And then get this part of it. Jody Gear was in firefighter school when this happened to her. Right? She became a probie, and her favorite show, the probationary firefighter, was Rescue Me. I was her favorite character. This is her talking. And by the way, her brothers Darren and Jeff, when I was writing music with them, didn't know this, because she was in Northern California. They're in Southern California. They're spread out all over.
It wasn't something they were talking about.
They never talked about it, that I was writing with them. So
wow,
I was her favorite character on Rescue Me. And she used the show as a way to heal and laugh, because the show showed firefighters as flawed human beings, and she was flawed in dealing with her demons of what she dealt with through this experience of being attacked, and she'd have nightmares, of course. So she saw through this show that, wow, these FDNY guys, because the show was depicted in a very real way, and we did a lot of charities and talked to real firefighters, so she followed it, and it helped her. It made her laugh. It helped her through this. And then get this, you ready? She is now, all these years later, one of the few female firefighter captains in America.